this is Rainey from the College of Science Office of Student Services, and I'm going to walk you through how to use your UAccess Student Center. First thing, go to uaccess.arizona.edu and click on Student Center. You're going to log in with your net ID and password, so I already have this net ID and password saved in our system, so I'm going to log in. You will be prompted to use your Duo Push, which is just a two-factor authentication system. So go ahead and decide how you're going to get your notification. You can either get a phone call or enter a passcode, which can get sent to you. So I'm going to go ahead and log in. And once the phone is answered, we're going to be able to log in fully. So once the phone is answered, you press 1 and you're able to log in. All right, so now we're in this student center. So you're going to be able to see your weekly schedule, any notices and holds, any to-dos. Make sure you pay attention to that. Notices and holds can prevent you from enrolling. To-do lists, if you have stuff to do for financial aid or an appeal or something, it might show up here. Enrollment dates, this lets you know when you can start enrolling for classes for each semester. Over here, you're going to want to check out things like your financial aid, and this is where you can go to pay your bursar bill. So play around in UAccess, make sure you click on all the links, read through it, and ask your advisor if you have any questions. So now moving on to class enrollment. You have two ways to search for classes. You can click this tan button here that says search for classes. This takes you directly to the schedule of classes where you can start browsing for the classes you're interested in enrolling for. You always want to make sure the term is set to fall 2020. Subject is going to be available alphabetically, so if you're looking for chemistry, let's go ahead and type in chemistry. You're going to want to keep the course number to contains. By putting another option, or even blank is fine. These other options can kind of filter out too many things and you might not find what you need. So I'm going to leave it blank. Course career, you can leave this blank, but you can also put undergraduate. The more information you put, the more specific and narrow options you're going to get. Campus is University of Arizona, Maine. We have multiple campuses, so make sure should just default to main campus. Down here, we have search by class attribute. So, for example, you could type in general education or select it, and then search by specific general education courses that you're searching for. So you could do that. You could filter down here. Honestly, it's just, for now, the easiest to go ahead and just do your search. So, without that many filters. All right, so chemistry, and let's go ahead and type in 151. I'm going to search for this course. All right, so there's 77 sections found. You can see here, this is a lecture for chemistry, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 8 to 8:50. The room is listed as the Giddings building. You'll see your instructor here, and then the meeting dates. Always pay attention to meeting dates because there could be atypical start and end dates. It could be a 7-week class, so just keep an eye on that. When you're looking at the status, this means open with requirements. So if we want to enroll in this chemistry class, you're going to select it, and it's going to prompt you to select a lab. So you can see here there are options: open with requirements, open, closed, and waitlist. And you can see here, these are all closed. However, this is only showing you the first 5 of 10 options. So if you click view all, you'll see the other labs that are affiliated with this course. I am just going to go ahead and select this lab and click next. Now we get taken to enrollment preferences. This is where you could change yourself to be added to a wait list if the class is full. With grading, you always want to maintain regular grades. Talk to your advisor if you plan to change their grading status. That's not something you want to mess with. And then you get some more enrollment information. So you have to place into this course with math. And then again, it breaks down the lecture days and times and lab days and times. and then it gives you some additional information about the course. So if everything looks good to you, go ahead and click next. And we'll get a message that says Chem 151 has been added to your shopping cart. So that's one way to search for classes. And I'm going back to the home page now. We were searching using this button. Personally, I prefer to go to Enroll. Make sure you're working out of fall 2020. And now we can see here's the class that we had put in our shopping cart. And if I wanted to proceed to step 2 or 3 and finish enrolling, I could do so. However, I want to show you my class schedule down here. I already have this chemistry class, so I'm going to actually show you a different enrollment option in a moment. So this is your class schedule. You can see this student is in 13 units. You can see the description of the class, days and times. This course doesn't have a specific day and time because it's an online class. You can see instructors and then how many credits. So if you add this up, it's 10 and 13, which matches right here, 13. Okay, so when you're actually in the Enroll tab, you get the options to search for classes here, add, drop, swap, or edit. So we're going to go through all of those. Your shopping cart is a course planning tool. Think of it as kind of like a placeholder. You're not necessarily saving a seat in a class, but it's something you're potentially interested in enrolling for. So you can load up your shopping cart and then enroll. However, I always recommend just enrolling as soon as possible because seats are going to be filling up. You want to ensure that you get the classes that you want. So don't let things sit in your shopping cart for too long because the class could potentially fill up. You want to proceed to step 2 or 3 and then finish enrolling. So I'm just going to go ahead and do that. Proceed to step 2 or 3, finish enrolling, and I get a time conflict, and this message says you cannot add this class due to the time conflict with another course. So I'm going to just go ahead and go back to add and kind of see if I can figure out which course is conflicting, and it's actually this chemistry lab. So if you're already enrolled in a section of chemistry, UAccess won't let you add another one. So if you're trying to switch into this class, we can use a swap feature. So I'm going to just go ahead and quickly show you how to swap. So go ahead and click swap. From your schedule, you're going to select which class you want to get rid of. So in this case, we want to get rid of Chemistry 151. And we have a few options here. We can search for the class. So we can just click search, look at the schedule of classes, and find the replacement course. Or from your shopping cart, if you already have the chemistry course in your shopping cart, you can go ahead and click this. Enter class number. This is if you happen to know this 5-digit code 39076. Most people won't know that code, so it's best to either put a class in your shopping cart, then swap, or just go to the swap tab and then search for a class. So I'm going to finish the swap transaction by clicking select, and I can see you are replacing this class with this class. Basically just changing the days and times that I'm enrolling for this course. So I'm going to go ahead and click finish swapping, and I get this green check mark which indicates classes were swapped. If there was an error, we would see that red X and ideally some kind of message that tells us what went wrong. So that's how to swap. It's a really great tool, especially if you're trying to save a seat in the class you're currently in, but trying to maybe move days, times, or just another class. So it's a little safer to do swap, but if you're absolutely certain you don't want a class and it's inhibiting you from enrolling in courses, go ahead and drop it. It's fine. So if, for example, if I know I absolutely do not want to take this course, Anthropology 150B, Many Ways of Being Human, I can select it. I can click drop selected classes, and then I'm going to finish dropping. Should get a message that says this class has been removed for your schedule. So now I can confirm some of these changes I've made. So I'm going to go ahead and click my class schedule. And right now this is filtering classes that I have enrolled in, dropped, and waitlisted. So I'm gonna filter that, and it should still show me what I'm enrolled in. Another thing that is really handy from this list view, you can click on this section number and then read a course description of the courses that you're currently registered in. So if you're unsure that that's a course you want to take, you're thinking maybe that's not something I'm interested in, you could swap it, you could drop it, and replace it with something else. Okay, so then going back to my class schedule, fall 2020, this is the list view. If you click weekly calendar view, it's going to give you a layout of your semester. This particular student center that I'm working out of, the student is in a summer class. So I'm going to go ahead and advance their schedule to August, when classes start on August 24th, refresh calendar, and now we can see a nice grid layout of their semester. So we have chemistry, calculus 2, and then as I scroll down here, an online class, an I course. So ACBS 160D, Human and Animal Interrelationships. This course does not have a synchronous meeting time, meaning you're going to have to do the work for this course via D2L on your own. So you don't have a scheduled meeting pattern. So down here, you can filter by days and class titles and instructors. So I'm going to go ahead and refresh calendar, and now you can see some additional information like what's the name of the course, plus the instructors that are listed. All right, so now let's go ahead and look at the add transaction. All right. So this takes you to your enrollment shopping cart, and you can see your class list again down here. You can click search up here or search down here. That will take you to the scheduled classes. This box that says enter class number, again, is only if you happen to know a specific 5-digit code. Most students don't keep track of that, so usually they'll just go to search. You'll see you can filter here by class search, my advisement report, my planner. It's best just to do a regular class search. Don't utilize these two options. They're not necessarily going to be the best way to look for courses. All right, so we're gonna click search. And in this case, I want to show you how to find general education courses, your 150s, 160s, and then potentially 170s should you need them. What you want to make sure is that course number is either blank or says contains. And then all you're going to do is type in 150, and then you could click enter, or 160, enter, same thing, 170, and that's how you search for your general education tier 1 courses. I'm going to go ahead and look for a 150. So I'm going to click search. When you see this spinning up here, this little icon, that means the page is loading. Sometimes UAccess can be a little slow, so just pay attention to that and see if the page is loading. Otherwise, you may need to refresh. So some cool things with this view, you can click show all, so you can see when your class meetings are, so you know what times are free. This is telling me my cart is empty. I don't have anything in my cart as of yet. All right, so now I am searching for 150 courses. You can see there's 154 class sections found, and it's in alphabetical order. So you can just kind of scroll through and see what might interest you. So let's go ahead and take a look at this course. An economic perspective, economics 150C. We can see this class attribute, general education, tier 1 individuals and societies. The meeting dates is for the full semester, August through December. The class is open. So if I want to learn a little bit more about this class, I'm going to click this hyperlink, and it gives me the class details. So the class is open, it's 3 units, days and times again are listed here, it's main campus. And enrollment requirements, it's saying you cannot take this class if you've previously taken Indiv 103. Attributes, it's a tier 1 gen ed in individuals and societies /150. You can see 245 people can take this class, 49 people have enrolled thus far, so there's plenty of seats left. And here's the description: the study of the interactions of the individuals and societies from the viewpoint of economics. So if this description sounds good, you're interested, you can go ahead and click select class. However, if you're unsure and you're not thinking that's the best general education fit for you, go ahead and click view search results to get back to the schedule of classes that you were previously looking at. If you use the back button on a browser, UAccess makes you start all over, and it just kind of wastes your time. So always click cancel or view search results. Use the buttons that are available to you in UAccess. Okay, so now it took me back to the class sections. I'm going to go ahead and scroll back down to that economics class because it offered a syllabus from a prior term. So if you notice this, you can click it and then click on the syllabus link. It's going to, oops, I want to open the file. Okay, let me drag this over here. This is really nice because you can see what the class required last academic year. So this is from fall 2019. And you can see how the professor kind of structures their course, lets you know about office hours, D2L, which is our learning platform, our learning management system. Lets you know about clickers, gradings. This is how your grade is broken down. So it's just definitely really nice if you see this option to view syllabus on a schedule of classes. Definitely look at that. Another thing I have mentioned, but there are iCourses. These are the classes that are fully online, but are offered through our main campus. So online classes are called iCourses. They do have a $50 fee, so that's something to watch out for. And another thing, we'll quickly look and see, here's a good example. So this is French 150B, the Holocaust in France and Italy. There's a section that is full term, so August through December, but there's also a section that runs during our 7-week 2 session. So you can see that here. 7-week 2 runs October 15th through December 9th. For your first semester at U of A, we don't recommend taking accelerated classes, 7-week classes, especially if they're online, just because the format is not something you're used to. The pace, it's basically or twice the work in half the time, so it's definitely a challenge. So maybe wait your first semester, take in-person classes if possible, and then you can explore taking 7-week 1, 7-week 2 once you're a little bit more acclimated to the demands of a university level course. All right, so we're looking for a 150 Gen Ed. Let's just go ahead and add one so I can show you the enrollment process. So I'm going to just go ahead and select this course, Gender and Contemporary Society. You can see it's a Tier 1 150 class in Individuals and Societies, so select. This is prompting me to pick a discussion. So classes that are Monday, Wednesday, Friday are going to be 50 minutes typically. Some courses will have a discussion, some will not. The way you'll know is UAccess will prompt you and it'll say it's required. So I'm going to just go ahead and click this Friday at 10. Click next. It takes me to enrollment preferences, waitlist if applicable. Okay, I'm going to click next. And now this class is in my shopping cart. So I'm going to click proceed to step 2 or 3. Also, I'm referencing down here to make sure there's no time conflicts. Doesn't look like there are. So I'm going to click proceed to step 2 or 3, finish enrolling. Perfect. So this class has been added to your schedule. Wonderful. Let's go back and look at my class schedule. And I can see all of the courses we're enrolled in. So we still have a ACBS, enrolled, chemistry, gender and contemporary society, and calculus. So this is the class that we just added. So I can click weekly calendar view, and we're going to look at August 24th. Okay. So this is your weekly calendar view for your fall classes. Note that some classes with atypical start and end dates you won't see on your schedule. So for example, if you're going to take Math 122 A and B or Math 120R or even 7-week 2 classes, you actually have to advance this until the course shows up. I'm not enrolled in anything that is a late start, so each week is going to look the same for me, but definitely click through, see if you notice any changes on your own schedule. Another thing that I really like to do when I'm looking for classes and trying to figure out like what my free times are is to load this page, take a picture so that you can see what space is available in your schedule so you can swap into things. The other thing you can do is actually just leave this open and then click add, right click, open link in new window. So I can work out of a separate tab so I can see really quickly, what my schedule looks like. And then let's say I am going to search for a 160 gen ed. Let's go ahead and search. And once that loads, we'll see our options. Okay, 143 class sections. I'm already enrolled in this class. Can't enroll in it for a second time. Let's see. So let's say this is the course I want to add. Gonna click select, click next, and then I can quickly reference, okay, Tuesday, Thursday, 12:30 to 1:45. Am I free at that time? Yes. So this class, I shouldn't have any issues with enrolling. So I'm gonna click proceed to step 2 or 3, finish enrolling. All right, perfect. So that class was added. Go back to my class schedule, weekly calendar view, and we should be able to see the class. There we go. AFAS 160, 12:30 to 1:45. All right. So to drop classes, it's really simple. You just select the class you want to drop. So let's say I no longer want this online course. I'm going to drop it and then finish dropping. The last enrollment tab, success, this class has been removed. You can go back and double check. The last enrollment tab I want to demo is called Edit. So Edit allows you to modify your classes that have labs or discussions. So currently I have 2 classes that I can edit. I'm going to go ahead and edit my chemistry class. So let's go ahead and click proceed to step 2 or 3 and click view all sections so you can see all the lab offerings. Let's say I'm now interested in taking my lab at Friday. I can reference back to here. This doesn't have the AFAS class, but I remember I added it at 12:30. Looks like Friday at 11 I'm free, so I should be able to swap into that class. I'm going to click next, finish editing. So now my class schedule should have the Friday lab, and I can go back here and confirm chemistry laboratory Friday. All right. So those are all the enrollment features that will be helpful as you're adding your fall 2020 classes. Make sure that you verify all your changes with your academic advisor. So once you've kind of built your final schedule, send your advisor an email and they'll kind of verify it, make sure everything looks good. Keep in mind you have all summer long and through the first week of the semester, so until August 31st, to use your UAccess Student Center to add, drop, swap, edit. After that, your advisor can help you if you need to make changes. But plenty of time, but try to enroll in your courses as soon as possible to ensure you have your full schedule. Another important thing to note, tuition isn't due until the start of classes. So if I go ahead and click the home button, you won't see anything due for tuition and fees until closer to the start of the fall term. Finally, the last thing we can look at is your book list. So if you click book list and then select which term you're working out of, so I'm going to change my term, it shows you the classes that you're enrolled in. You can click proceed to the bookstore, and this will let you know which books are required, which ones are recommended, and just make sure you read this little pop-up because I think it's saying information about the policy for enrollment, or not enrollment, but for refunds. Okay, so currently these are the books that are listed for the classes. This may get updated closer to the start of the semester, so you might want to wait until August before you start looking for your books or purchasing books. You can click view compare prices and it will tell you the cost. So it looks like for Amazon this is a $5 used, $21.90 new, whereas the U of A it's $16. So you can purchase this through whichever retailer of your choice. Basically, it says strongly recommended, so you don't necessarily have to purchase that, but anything you see required you obviously will need. So you can check for books through the Arizona bookstore, libraries, Barnes and Noble, Chegg. You can rent books, so figure out what is your best option for yourself. Let's see. That's pretty much it. So follow up with your advisor if you have any additional questions about class registration. One final thing, when you sign out, if you're using a public computer, always click yes to fully log out of your UAccess Student Center. That way someone can't just jump into your account and mess with stuff. So fully log out, and that's it. We can close this window. All right, thanks so much for watching.